Greetings, this is Trina Rilaventra, I'm sorry, the half-elven YouTuber. Come to you with another Critical Role reaction. Today we go back to campaign 3. Tonight's episode 24. Almost a quarter away to the to having 3 digits. Real quick, I would like to state that I do not own nor associate with Critical Role, Twitch or YouTube channels, or any other its online presence. I'm just a fan sharing with my fellow fans. Quick thing, I was going to record an episode yesterday, a reaction to an episode of the next episode of Dungeons & Dragons Time, but there was and it really should have been unexpected power outage. I say unexpected because it was a planned power outage for test the system or whatever. I don't know what the reasoning behind it is, but they never actually contacted us to warn us. So yeah, I will not tell you what's behind it because AMF server was like down or something much. But I won't say anything about it in case I do need to, so they get somehow sponsored. Just chilling. I'll try to record this weekend. Yes, still recording. They'll have a better They'll have a better recounting, but last week I thought they had just they on their airship were approaching their, I forget the actual city's called. They had a flying with a combat encounter with, well, I forget what they're called. They're basically like flying manta rays or stingray things. Then after that, there was a conversation between, like during the night, between Laudna and Imogen, in which Imogen let Laudna handle the stone, and seemingly through her, Delilah Briarwood seemingly either absorbed or destroyed the stone for some reason. In unknown, which was not something that Laudna expected, and Imogen feels like Laudna has betrayed her. So that's bad news. That dynamic duel. This needs to be fixed at some point. But let's see what happens in this episode of Critical Role. And now onto the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us students voice actors sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh no!
Excuse me, after they usually shout shit at me before we start, and this came as just a wave of chaos, and I was unprepared. Before we get into our episode tonight, we do have some announcements to get through. Beginning with our first sponsor tonight, Cash App. Sam.
Welcome back to the Finger Championship Games.
Will you actually pay her this time?
Cash App. The easiest way to send, spend, and save money. The #1 finance app in the App Store, helping you invest in stocks with as little as $1 and connect your direct deposit and get paid 2 days early. I'm Vince McSam, and I'm here with Marisha Ray, a.k.a. the Finger Blaster, undefeated champion of the Finger Games, for a post-match interview. Marisha, How does it feel to be the #1 fingerer in
More
the
than
room?
should be.
Okay, first, I still urge you to use a different term that hasn't changed. And second, it feels great! You know, crush my enemy's fingers, see them jam before me, and hear the lamentations of their cuticles!
Yeah. Now tell me about your training
That-
regimen.
Well,
That's,
you know, I start my
that-
day
I
with
rec-
6
I
raw
recognize
eggs,
that.
which I then cook with some butter and salt.
Okay.
Matt eats 3, I give 2 to Omar, and then I usually eat 1.
Intense. Intense. What next?
Stair climbs, hundreds of them.
And by stair climbs, you mean?
Oh, I just like type
Is
a lot
Ashley-
on my laptop.
Oh,
You know,
sure,
emails, Slacks, Overwatch fanfic.
Auburn
Actually,
hair?
never forget who I'm shipping.
Oh,
right
no,
now
I won't.
in the-
Finger B, anyone you want to thank for this victory?
Yeah. The big guy up here.
You mean?
That's right, my pointer finger. I love you, bro. We did this together, ride or die.
Well, that concludes the interview.
Well, wait. You have been promising me my prize for like 3 episodes of this shit now.
Sure. You're right. And I've stalled long enough. Do you have the app?
I do. I downloaded it in the App Store or Google Play Store, whichever you have. And when I signed up as a new user, I used code CRITROLL for $15,
Wow.
and then $10 went to our very own Critical Role Foundation. Terms apply.
Wow. All right. So there and sent with Cash App. Now let me show you how you can accept the money right there and transfer it back to me. Excellent.
What? Wait, what the hell? You just sent the money back to yourself?
Very easily with Cash App. As your manager, I'm entitled to garnish your winnings as payment for cultivating you as a fingerer.
All right, that's it, Vince McSam. You're going down. I'm gonna smash your head.
No! Someone, please! Someone! Will someone defend me against this ruffian? I'll pay you twice what I owe her.
I'll do it. I've
Are you sure,
been
Liam?
itching to go toe to toe and finger to finger with a real warrior.
Who are you?
You can call me Flick Flair.
Why does he just pick
Stay
on
tuned
me?
for
What?
that battle next time Cash App sponsors the show. Matt, back to you.
Oh, I am in pain.
Flair is a great name.
Yeah,
That's
why
pretty-
does he get to pick his own name?
Well, we're working on this as we go.
It's more lore building than it is like grabbing glory, you know?
Yeah.
We're trying to create a greater picture of the Cash App. I'll stop.
Look, I'm just excited that we all got a glance at your next character. So, this episode is also sponsored by our friends at Ghostfire Gaming and their brand new 5e post-apocalyptic setting, Aurora. There we go. My brain just shut down there.
Just having pneumonia.
Coming from the dentist. Don't judge. He just came from the dentist.
We gotta take one, a take two.
My brain, I've been staring at the scripts all day. My brain just stopped working. Aurora, Age of Desolation. It's like I haven't said it before. What is wrong with me? I am so sorry. The setting images a world ravaged by dragons and includes a detailed survival system, innovative character creation, and an evolved advantage system. It also includes 15 new subclasses, 15 background options, and a very special gargantuan Red Dragon Mini. You can jump on this great product right now at Aurora, or some people, 5e.com. Aurora, 5e.com. And thanks to Ghostfire Gaming for continuing to support our show. Why do I do this?
Oh my God.
Marisha, start talking, please.
Okay. Next week. After this week, that's the one. Exandria Unlimited. Yes. Calamity.
Yes.
Woo. Our 4-part miniseries premieres on Thursday, May 26th at 7 p.m. Pacific on Twitch and YouTube. Join as 6 distinguished heroes from the Age of Arcanum as they uncover an insidious corruption beneath the city that they've sworn to protect. This is a story where Exandria's greatest heroes could not or would not see the truth before it was too late, as the inevitable calamity Nears. The cast. Game Master. Brendan Lee Mulligan. We'll be joined with players Travis Willingham, Maria Iyengar, Sam Regal, Lou Wilson, Marisha Ray, and Luis Carrazzo. EXU Calamity will continue weekly on Thursdays until Campaign 3 resumes on Thursday, June 30th. Yes, that is the last Thursday of the month, but we will have missed you guys so much by then. Check out all the details at critroll.com.
Woohoo!
Also...
Oh, God, there's more.
Calamity. Aurora.
that's the sequel. Farsighted Dive, episode 3, airs Tuesday, June 7th at 7 p.m. Pacific on Twitch and YouTube, the first Tuesday of the month. And then...
There's more?
Let's Roll.
Oh, that's me.
That's you. The Four-Sided Dive theme by Sam Regal and Peter Habib is available now on music platforms, so you can buy it.
On music platforms.
Yeah, you can buy it and, or stream it today, whatever you prefer.
Sure.
But it's out there now.
Thanks.
It's a bop.
It is.
Thanks, you guys.
Friends around the table.
I want to record you on it.
It's gonna be great.
Fantastic. Well, I think that concludes our announcement. Let's go ahead and jump into tonight's episode of Critical Role.
One by one we climb until we reach the top. 2 by 2 we fall. Will we beat our friend or meet our destiny? Hold your breath and roll. How do you want to do this? It's Thursday night.
Tomorrow.
Come join us. It's time to continue our
I'm not going to sing. I'm just going to tell you, I do have something scheduled to do tomorrow, so I'm applying for both parts tonight. So I can have that free. And I hope I can upload the right video. I think any of you guys watching may have found out, but
taking more chances. Hold your breath and roll. You can certainly try. It's Thursday night. All ye critters, come join us. It's time to continue our play.
there's magic and mystery, darkness our friends. Rise.
But one thing's for sure, we never give up on the fight. Oh, get ready. It's Thursday night.
So last time, we
Serious time.
last time,
Life or death.
Bell's Hells had said their goodbyes for the time being to the city Drusar, where they had met and spent a large portion of their adventure before, and donning their outfits and their gathered materials and stepping aboard the skyship known as the Silver Sun. You began to leave the Odiran wilds and head towards the Hellcatch Valley to chase after the whereabouts of the escaped Armand Tresci, who seems to have gone underground in the city of Baceros. Now, after many days traveling across the broken, cracked, dust-filled wasteland that is the Hellcatch Valley, looking below day and night, you encountered some dangerous creatures that seemed to take to the skies that battled you on the deck of this very skyship, in which, through some daring escapes and some clutch uses of abilities and spells, prevented Orm from falling to his death immediately. And with the possible final night of travel before the next final day of travel to the city of Baceros, there was a discussion between Imogen and Ladna, in which this strange crystal that you had scavenged from the interior of the Shade Mother's lair back in Drusar that have been seemingly giving comfort and warmth and having some odd effects on Imogen, have been called into question. Laudna, following a strange internal push towards inspecting and learning of the nature of it, grasped the gem upon the promise of nothing bad happening, and upon grasping it, watched as the arcane energy within was drawn out and into her, the crystal crumbling and cracking, left powerless and dark. And
yeah, don't do.
Imogen stormed off to take a night's rest, wallowing in the sense of betrayal as Laudna screamed at the bow of the ship. Nothing but the stars above and the moons to take it. So, coming back to where we are, is there any other business that night, Imogen or Laudna or anybody else, would you like to handle before the next day of travel? All right. The night goes by without issue. The next morning, eventually, the sun begins to rise over the dusty valley. You can see there's some spotted gray clouds beginning to encroach from the southeast region, kind of the general Aishanador direction of Marquette.
Okay, yeah. So no one else
You can
has
just feel the wind picking up.
Has picked up any more
As the heat
level
begins
at
to
different times
rise,
from what
the
they
temperature
were
is beginning
had
to
before.
shift of the day. You can see distant high clouds, dust storms. It's hard to see, but the horizons begin to get a bit muddled, a bit fuzzy. I would like, as you travel for this final day, for somebody to roll a d20 for me, please.
It's
me?
Laura,
Yeah.
First roll. Say it. Come on, anything under a 5 is crazy.
Roll a d6 for me, Laura.
Oh.
3.
3. Okay. Fairly early in the morning, to where the sunrise is still kind of blanketing this this dust-covered scape. The plateaus and large mountains that punch up from the broken ravine-cracked ground are still wearing the pinks and oranges of the rising sun.
Well,
Who will be first out onto the deck, keeping watch?
Sam's,
Make a perception check.
it kind of spoils like what Sam's thing is on the deck.
Let's.
Like
Okay.
his anchored thing is, but his what
Glancing out
the
that
thing is
early
something
morning
that
air,
done.
breathing
So I
in
think
deeply.
it's not showing the
You
correct
hold
thing.
the edge of the sky ship and glance down, and
So-
below you see a trail. One of the various roads that carve through the valley itself. You see what looks to be a small caravan, maybe 12 or so carts that are hitched to numerous beasts of burden, just slowly trudging through their path towards the city of Baceros. What you also see, and you're uncertain if they see it, is something else shifting in the land below. You hear this like very faint, like a bassy, and you glance deep down and look underneath. The shadow, thankfully, is stretched far across the ground, so the sky ship doesn't block your perspective, but you see the ground shifting, rippling, like something large is burrowing just beneath the surface of the dust and dirt in the direction of the caravan.
Is anyone else on deck? Captain, first mate, any of the crew?
Right now, Captain Zandis is not there, but Khalil, the first mate, is at the helm.
Okay, Orm will bolt for Khalil. Khalil, look, down there. I think those people are in trouble. I think they're about to die. Get the captain. I'll be back. And I bolt for our quarters, and I find my way to the witch's door, where I think I slept, but I'm out early, and I just start beating on the door and yelling for everybody to get up, and specifically yell Imogen's name as loud as I can.
You all hear the...
Telekinesis. What?
Some people on the ground are, I think, about to get eaten or something. Wake up. Get everybody up. And I just start slapping on doors and yelling, wake up, for everybody on board.
rapidly as all of you begin to hear the banging sounds and the voices rising in the hallways beyond the chambers that you've chosen here below deck on the Silver Sun. The Captain Xandus comes pushing through from their quarters and, there's something, it's way too early. And they go ahead and start trudging back to the surface. What are the rest of you doing?
Running up to the surface, making sure everybody else is up, and
Okay.
This is too early.
Get up.
Move up.
Get up. Oh, that's just how tall you are standing.
You son of a bitch.
I would drag Xandus to the edge of the ship and then with sword out, point it down. There, what is that? What does that mean?
They lean over the edge and glance down, pulling what looks like a very intricate, thin, but multi-tiered spyglass out of their pocket that draws out and puts it across. Well, goodness, it looks like we found ourselves a Dustra. Claps it into their pocket, puts it down.
Dustra?
All right, man, the harpoons with the chains. We don't want to kill it. They're not usually dangerous. I don't know why it's going after this thing in particular. They're not carnivorous, but I think I got an idea. Khalil, give me the helm. Help these people. And they charge back and climb up quickly to get behind the wheel of the ship. Khalil begins shouting out, all right, everyone, get the harpoons ready. Get the chained harpoons, okay? And starts directing out to the rest of you. You can see the rest of the crew starting to come out. Gordy's kind of like wiping his eyes a bit. Tirana looks over and grabs the edge of one of the ballista. Who's doing what?
I'll grab a ballista.
are we getting closer to it? Are we shifting directions and heading down?
Right as you're like making that thought in your head, the sails shift and the ship begins to go into a subtle dive. And you watch as a lot of the barrels and crates and various elements and materials that are stored on the deck begin to just slightly slide, shifting with the seeming directional weight of the front of the ship. Listing, that's the word I was looking for. As it lists slightly, everything begins to move towards the front, but it doesn't quite get to the point where anything will slam and go overboard. The captain kind of ensuring that the contraptions that keep the skyship afloat are directionally moving properly. As it glides down, though, you guys watch as the horizon moves up above you, and you get a full perspective beyond the edge of the deck, no matter where you stand, of the landscape below you. And you can now see the early morning lights of the caravan. There's lanterns hanging that give these little pinpoints of light, and as the rays of the sun begin to hit the edge, you can see some of the colored cart flags and banners that it uses to very loudly connotate its existence, also as a warning against the various crawler gangs. You also see, out of the dust, this large ripple just kind of tearing, breaking across the surface. And for a brief second, you see something emerge from it. It looks like a squid. It has this long head that kind of dives outward, and you see these tendrils that kind of come behind it. It's like a massive, mutated cephalopod, but it's covered in spines and weird kind of hooked, like horned toad style ridges that go across the sides of its body. And at the very point where the head emerges, you see it split into 4 different kind of jaw openings before it dives back down below. You hear Xandus shout from the back, "They're not usually hunters. Something's drawing it. Get there ready!" And at that point, the thing lists further. You watch as one of the ammunition carts begins to slide towards the edge. Gordy's going to go ahead and reach over and try and grab for it.
Come on, Gordy.
Who's manning the ballista right now?
I got one.
Claimed it.
You've got one?
Claimed.
I'll get up on the other one.
Okay.
2 claimed.
I'll go to Ashton and cast enhanceability
Thank you.
on them and give them advantage on dexterity checks.
You got it. Okay. So as you both go over, Gordy does manage to actually grab the barrel and hold it off to the side. Tirana is helping you load the chained harpoon on the left-hand side of the sky
That's the one we want? Okay.
There's nobody. Actually, no. Khalil is available, so Khalil can help you too. Khalil rushes over and helps you get the massive harpoon. And opposed to the ones that you've previously shot in the previous battle, these are much thicker and have kind of a hooked barb at the end, and are designed to dig and hold wherever they're shot towards.
Is there also one? There's
At
another
the very
one?
back.
There's one at the very back.
Okay, I'll go hop up to that one.
Okay.
Will it be able to? Well,
Up
yeah.
and over the ship. I mean,
Do you think it's a good idea, Fern?
We're kind of
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, so you go ahead and rush up to the poop deck on the very back of the ship to where there's the third ballista. You go ahead and load in the harpoon yourself. All right. It'll take you a minute. You watch as this beast, which, I mean, like, you don't get to see the full mass of it. Only parts of it peek through as it occasionally breaks the surface and then digs back into the broken ground.
Does the caravan seem like it has seen it at all?
It's too far away for you to see any sort of change in its behavior, and it's too quick, so you have no idea.
Can you use your horn? Can you single out somebody in that caravan and use your horn?
Oh, just trying to use a gift.
It'll destroy it?
No, make it disintegrate in my hand. I'll look at the caravan, and I pick one of the beasts of burden, and I... No. I'll pick a humanoid entity at the back and try and, like...
Okay. You put all of your breath into this horn, and it's just... And you begin to realize, maybe you got swindled for some cash.
Son of a bitch.
Did it work?
Hold on, I gotta make a new list.
Yeah.
Yes.
Meanwhile, the ballista are both set,
Where
and
did you get that?
the ship is now starting to turn up as it's getting dangerously low towards the ground, but it is beginning to catch up to this
Captain
Dustra
Zand's
beast.
Hears in his head. How high up can these... Their head, sorry. How high up can these dusters go?
You hear back from Captain Sandus. Not very high. They're mostly terrestrial diggers, and they're generally scavengers and vegetarians, which is why this is very strange.
Any ranged attacks?
I don't know. I never fought one. I mean, don't go this deep into the valley. Skyships avoid this area for a reason. I told you that.
I cast fly,
Okay.
and I'm gonna take off for the caravan.
Okay.
How far are we from the caravan, by the way?
At this point, you're roughly 400 feet from it, and gaining quickly, both you and the beast. But you are gaining on it. So you're getting to the point where while the skyship is pulling up, you're starting to lose a proper aiming position towards it. And you hear Xanda shout out from the back, "If you're gonna take aim, do it now!"
What's the play here, Captain? Can we take one of these things? Are they too much?
We're not gonna take it. We're gonna distract it. Pull it away.
Okay.
On count of 3.
Yeah.
3!
Oh, shit!
Fire.
Okay, both of you roll. You have advantage because of the enhanced ability.
But I do not.
No.
It's a dex.
You roll and add a +6 is what it is.
13.
20.
20. Okay. 13. It fires free. The chain that's wound up on the side immediately is going off, and you can watch as it's hitting the edge of the railing. It arcs past the beast. It was just a little bit off, and the chain is kind of grinding, and you can see now the railing around it has this heavy metallic reinforcement specifically for this purpose. But you can see it grinding against it, and sparks are shooting. And then eventually the chain just goes limp, and you can see it beginning to drag behind
It's
us.
like we meant to. We can zip line down and fuck.
Yours does hit. Go ahead and roll 3d8 for me.
Ooh. All right.
Sorry. 68.
68. That changes the territory. Just find some d8s. I might have to borrow a couple. Okay, 3. Okay, 68. 3 will do it. All right. That's 12, 13. 13 plus 19.
Okay. 32.
32. I rolled.
You got it.
Pretty well.
It sticks into the Dustra as it was just diving back in, and the chain suddenly rips taut. As it does, you can see the very edge of the railing kind of buckles slightly. You watch the metal bends. You hear this loud as it pulls against it, and the ship suddenly begins to list to one side and is pulling at a slight angle. At which point you see Captain Dennis go, come on, and begins turning the wheel quickly and pushing it against the weight of the chain. Go again, other side!
I'm going to try to shoot from the back.
Oh, boy.
So try to get a tail situation or something, whichever is you know.
About now you're set. It's going to be a more difficult shot, but I'm
Okay.
here for it. Go ahead and roll
Let's
d20.
go.
Never know.
Can you guide yourself?
I guide myself.
Okay.
Good call. Okay. I'm adding 6.
Yes, to whatever you roll.
Okay.
Plus guidance.
Where
A D4.
D4. oh, okay. That would be 20 total.
You needed an 18.
Whoa!
So with that, it goes off the front, and at this point the ship's pulled up and it's listed to the side to where you didn't really know where it was anymore. You couldn't see it. You just kind of shot and hoped.
Here we go!
You all watch it cruise off the top, and then suddenly it pulls tight. You hear now this like deep, reverberant growl. As that chain tugs, the boat begins to list from the back. Yeah, that's bad. And you watch as the captain goes, God, shit! And reaches down, and underneath the wheel, there's a second set of controls that handle the intensity and strength of the broomstone upon the ship itself. You watch as they reach down and pull one heavy lever from there and just yank back. As they do, you see the central gem that sits in the middle of the ship begin to glow brightly, and you all feel the wood of the ship begin to vibrate. Things begin to just clatter and shift. As it does, the ship kind of locks into place and continues to move forward, but now it is anchoring it at its current, like, angled listed state. And the ship begins to slow. And slow. It's an air brake, if you will, an arcane air brake for this. And as it slows and slows, you can hear again. You also notice now flares beginning to come off of the caravan. They've either noticed the encroaching creature or they heard the alarm notification from your horn.
What's the distance look like between the creature and caravan now?
They're about 250 feet from
We're like 400 from the creature, right?
At this point, the ship begins to slow, and the caravan, you see it as the large kind of colored plumes go off in the air, these kind of notification flares. You watch the back of the caravan, a bunch of warriors and like guardians begin to shift to the back to keep watch, and they begin other individuals begin to pick up, and all the beasts are being ushered further and faster now to get itself to a safe space. And you can see they're not terribly far from what looks to be a large rocky hillside, like some sort of like solid rock hill that moves out of the ground, and they're moving over towards that direction. As it does, you kind of glance down over the edge, and indeed you have these two chain-held harpoons that are in this beast that itself is like kind of scooting through the dirt, and it's trying to fight, but it's unable to pull away from the strength of the ship. And occasionally the ship kind of like lurches a bit.
It's still fighting pretty hard, though.
It's trying to fight, yeah.
Am I closer to it at this point?
And can we see her?
From what you can, you now have driven off. You can get as close to it as you want to, because you flying, and it's about the length of the chains here. It's about maybe, I'd say at this point, 150 or so feet, 200 feet from the front of the ship, and to where the chains go top. That's the full length of it. So you shot it when it was closer, and then as it pulled back, the chains went taut and kind of are holding it like a kite. So it takes you under a minute, I'd say, to get to to get within a pretty close range of the beast.
And how high is, if we guesstimate it from where we are, is that thing?
200 feet, you just said?
Not away. I asked how far away it was from the caravan. Now I'm asking how high, like when it's like revealing itself, how high into the air.
Gotcha. Well, it's you haven't seen it like leap out. You've only seen it kind of like breach the surface and go back under. And what you've seen, you guesstimate at a first glance, second glance, fifth glance, it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 to 100 feet long, from tip to, just thinking of how you discern squids and the way that they are proportionally placed, but you have not seen the full back of it, nor have you seen the underside. What you do see, as it's now taut in there, the two chains locked into it, you see one central, like bright blue, almost like a deep cerulean blue eye that occasionally opens up with like a secondary glass lid that kind of closes and protects it. And it just kind of is writhing in the ground, getting ground slower and slower and slower. And that's kind of where you're sitting at the moment.
Yeah.
Imogen, what are you doing?
I'm gonna... Oh, God.
Yeah, do it. Come on. all out there
I
flying by.
know, but I have like a couple thoughts, but concentration.
Oh no.
I'm gonna do first and foremost, I'm gonna like float down to where I can like look it in its eye.
Okay, and now it is a bit dangerous to get too close because you do see parts of it thrashing, and this close up you can see the texture of it. It has crustacean-like plates across a large part of its body, all similar coloration to a lot of the earth and dirt around here in the Hellcatch Valley. It has like an ashen, like a light gray visual to it. But the closer you get, you can see there are striations through it, almost like there's colors that shift or ripple through with blood pumps. Like it seems to have deep-set brown veins that occasionally kind of shoot through it visually, with what parts you can see breaching the surface. It's very fascinating, weirdly beautiful as much as it is scary. And as certain tendrils kind of lash out of the dirt and whip around, some are like grasping and wrapping around the chains, almost like trying to pull itself free or trying to pull something down, but they're caught at a stalemate. And the one eye that's kind of appearing is kind of, it's odd because it's not flat. The eye is almost the pinnacle of a weird bulge, like it rises up to an eye that's just kind of pushing out at the top of an apex.
Okay.
Like a periscope.
I'm gonna get. Oh God! I'm gonna look at it in its eye, and I'm gonna say, "Stop." And I'm gonna command it to just stop moving.
Okay. What was the?
Wisdom 15.
Wisdom 15. The tendrils begin to lax, and it just kind of the thrashing stops.
Damn.
Okay. As it does that, I'm gonna lower myself down to the ground, and I'm gonna try to use open mind on it and detect its thoughts.
What?
Okay.
Just porn.
Okay.
It's anti-porn.
So, are you going to do like a full push dive into it? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's challenging because like it's odd that it recognizes a command,
Right.
which means
It has to understand something.
yeah, it understands an aspect of language at the very least, or an intent to that regard. And there is an intelligence to this creature. And you push past that, and you sense a lot of pain. You sense a desperation and an anger. And as you push further beyond the barrier of its immediately alien mind, you get senses of being lashed, being hurt, being pushed beyond its boundaries. You see images and memories within it, though the visual itself is very fisheye and stretched, of underground caverns, home, a sense of home and belonging and being pushed and forced from it, of having brood, children taken. And a real deep, burning sense of vengeance.
All I'm gonna try to do is convey thoughts to it. To say I'm sorry for your loss. Help. See if I can calm it at all.
It's pretty wound up. Yeah. I'll say make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
I have memories of getting shot in the ass with Harpoon.
Well, let's add those to the pile now.
15 with disadvantage.
15. It doesn't calm. It definitely has reduced its aggressive, instinctual, destructive reach out and smashing its sense that it's brought to this space. But it's certainly still driven. It's certainly still angry and vengeful.
Them? I'm gonna point to the caravan.
It just seems to be lashing out.
All right.
when you ask them, it doesn't have any certain personal connection with the caravan in front. It acknowledges that you refer to it, and what you get back from is it just wants to destroy.
Okay. I'm gonna cast fly again.
Okay.
And kick up. Oh God, I'm gonna kick up into the air and get onto the airship again.
Okay.
And try to do so before it regains its motion.
You all watch as Imogen just flies down, just kind of drifts right above its bright blue eye, and it slowly begins to reduce its aggressive stance. Not entirely, but there seems to be almost an odd pause, a space between them, a connection where there's, knowing her and her abilities, possibly a conversation. And then eventually she takes off again, and it still kind of slowly is wrapping itself around the chains.
How'd it go?
Are you all right? I'm fine.
That was so cool.
Well, what do we do?
Very hurt.
It's been hurt. It's been tortured. I think people probably destroyed its home and its family.
Oh, no.
It's angry.
Orm's tracking the caravan. Have they gotten anywhere where we can feel they're reasonably safe at this point?
They're about 4 minutes of travel beyond getting us. It is a large caravan, and it's even moving at its speed. This is, when you're off the road, the land itself is a little difficult to move on with just simple carts in places. And so they have a few minutes before they'll be truly in a safe spot.
Do we need to do more to calm it?
I mean, I don't know what else I can do. I can keep trying to calm its emotions or freeze it as much as possible until at least they get to safety, but I certainly don't want to cause it any more harm.
Should we just disconnect and...
What?
It'll kill him.
Well, we can wait until... I can speak with animals. I don't know if it's an animal, though.
I don't think it's an animal.
Captain, you think these chains will hold?
Yeah. That's a good question for the captain.
I have not really, held back a Dustress, so hopefully, at which point the ship kind of lurches forward once more. I don't know. We could, just get ready by the pins. Hold on. I'll give you the go. Set them free. We can always buy more chains.
Do people try to capture these Dustras?
Not usually. Coming to the surface like this is, it's a rare sight indeed.
Something's been after him.
Well, I guess welcome to the valley.
Captain, is there a world where maybe we could just lift it and just move and then put it back down very calmly?
We can certainly try.
So we can still go on our way and let the caravan do its thing?
Get away.
You mean like lift it somewhere back the other way or something?
Yeah, just like our cargo. A cargo Dustra.
Xandis kind of like gets this intense contemplative look in the middle of their face, and their eyes go wide with a manic grin.
That's quite an entrance into Baceros, if we did
They
want
glance
to.
over rapidly to their first mate. Galil, you want to try and pick up a beast? It's like, aye, Captain.
Oh, no.
That felt like a no to me. That really felt
All right.
I don't know. I don't know.
To the chain stations. Any of you seem to be kind of magic oriented, right?
Oh, yes, very.
Get to the 2 front gems. If you can go ahead and, give it magic or something. I don't know how this works.
You heard the captain. Go give him magic.
I
mean, they don't know how the ship works.
Wait, what do you mean give it magic?
Give the things that are lifting us a magical boost.
I know how to make a ship go. I know how sky ships move forward. I know how to fix it. I know how to make sure that everything is going okay with it. But I don't really know how to make the magic part stronger. It's not my strong suit.
How do sky ships do in lightning storms?
I mean, classically and historically, pretty terribly.
Okay, well then I won't try that one. Right.
Isn't there a lever or something that you have that you pulled underneath there?
Yes, and I'm going to put it the other way and give it all she got to try and bring this thing out of the land, because that's what you wanted to do.
Can these chains even hold this thing? It's 80 feet
I don't
long.
know but I'm raring to try.
We do not have to do this. This is just an idea I was throwing out there.
We're doing it now.
We can try it.
Can't throw it out there and then walk it back.
Bad, you know?
Oh, yeah. If
Oh, I'm curious. Don't worry.
oh, you are? Okay.
We could alternatively, we could try to confuse it, distract it, influence its mind to say that the caravan went a different direction or something.
Boring.
I feel like the time for common sense is over.
Yeah, we're picking this bitch up.
Now's the time for action.
Featherfall?
Featherfall?
Maybe we can try casting Featherfall on the creature.
It's not a bad idea.
And that'll make it lighter? We could try.
I'm gonna try
I could
some
bring
weird
you. I
shit.
still got fly on me. I can bring you over the side lot and then get it down close.
I'm gonna try some weird ass shit.
All right, I gotta get within 60 feet of it.
Okay, climb on my back.
All right.
Don't fall.
I do a Yoda backpack situation.
And I'm gonna try to fly down to the creature with Laudna on me.
Okay, so you grab on and fly over. Immediately as you leave the ship and have that, which at this point the ship is maybe 90 or so feet off the ground. It's held, down by the creature, like I said, like in a very kite-like scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But you still feel that kind of rush under your stomach. You coast over it. You hear the captain shout outside, "Tell us when!"
Oh, right.
Side note, since Imogen first flew away, Orm is on the side of the ship doesn't want to, but is waiting to arrow Flynn down the chain if need be, and he's in that exact same position watching them like a hawk.
We have 2 chains attached to it. If we're gonna really try this, we should probably attach all 3 chains, right?
I already tried once. You want another one?
Yeah,
That
we
would
should
be
try
nice,
again.
actually. Yes, please.
Yeah, fair enough. Help me, baby.
I will guide you.
If there is another chained harpoon.
No, there is one affixed per ballista.
you have to reel it in.
You'd have to reel it in.
Is that a strength thing?
It's more of a time consuming. It's gonna take Gordy and Tirana rush over and start helping you pull the chain in. This will take you a couple minutes to do so. So you're pulling and you're all pulling in, and it is a heavy workout. You're all sweating. At this point, too, the ship is like the creature is now starting to get a little more angry and sense that it's being held in place.
I'll try and wait for them because Featherfall only lasts for a minute. It's not, it only give us a little bit.
Should I try to command it again and see if it works? And just say, calm it down.
Does it even understand your commands?
It understands my commands.
Would this be considered a huge creature or bigger? Or
This would be
neither?
much larger than a huge creature.
I understand.
This would be considered gargantuan.
Oh,
Gargantuan creatures.
Yeah.
I can't believe it was
Just for shits and giggles, I'm going to try and rage and beat the main crystal with my fists. I see if I can pump magic into it, literally just by punch, because I clearly can't damage it very well.
Hey, dude, punch a crystal.
Fuck, I'm punching a crystal.
Sure.
All right.
We're all going down.
Yeah, we are. I'm punching it with my fists, man. If a fist is all it takes, then we were dead already. So what do I get?
I mean,
I'm gonna try again before
Bo did some pretty dope shit. I just want to say.
I'm trying again.
So that's 2 rages used.
Yep, and it's the same roll 3 times in a row. Fuck it. I'm gonna just start. I'm gonna start throwing space attacks into this as gently as I can to just start trying to see if it can like absorb some of whatever the fuck's in my head.
You start just hitting the crystal, and the captain goes, "What are you doing?"
I'm kind of magic. I don't know.
Okay.
Space.
Yeah, no. And you do. You full on go Ip Man on the crystal. And while you're doing that, you're pulling the chain out.
The 3 of us are.
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
just,
as soon as we get within 60 feet.
yeah, I'm going to wait for their chain. Yeah, just to try and maximize.
Sure, I'll try to command the creature to calm down one more time. Just freeze.
I'm just looking over both sides, trying to keep an eyes on the girls.
My
stressed.
face is kind of awkwardly, like, like right next to Imogen's. And as we wait, I'm just like, so.
No.
All right.
And just in case it can understand me, I will use speak with animals and I'll yell down to it. It's okay. We're not gonna harm you. I hope you can understand me. Can you?
What seemed like guttural vibration kind of comes up from the ground, and you hear, or at least take in the magical translation of, where are they?
You can talk to it.
I will open my mouth and go. Which means they've fled behind you.
Yeah.
Who's they?
Whatever he's looking for.
Why don't you ask him what he's looking for?
It's just really hard to say a word in this fucking language. Might take a few minutes. Sure. I'll
Find out who attacked him.
I'll ask. Who do you seek?
My spawn. Where are they?
She or he is looking for their spawn, their kids.
Where did they last see them?
Oh, boy.
That's not. It's not keys.
Them in the toy owl.
Yeah.
What do we?
We don't know where they are.
He says,
We are not helpful here.
I'll shout back.
Your chain is retrieved.
I got the harpoon.
We can see great distances from the air. We can climb up and search for your spawn.
And you can come with us.
Oh, well, I don't want to promise that.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh boy. Terrible. Oh, I have pretty good persuasion. 14.
14. You all hear once again the words come through. Find them. I must.
Oh, we're getting the harpoon back in. My arms are so
They really
slow.
want to find their kid. I don't know if they'll let us just
Are you
go
firing?
and search.
Captain, permission to fire.
Do it!
Oh, God. Oh, wait, but I'm just making a breakthrough here.
Just say we need to attach something to you to help.
No, don't do it. Wait, what? What'd you say?
Just maybe let them know that we're attaching an extra ouchie to
Maybe we
sure
should
to
do that.
we can leave.
Ouchie. Hold on.
I feel like if I say we're about to impale you again, it's going to sour the conversation.
A little bit.
But we're going to shoot the creature. What? Let me just give it one more try to reason with it.
Okay.
All right. If we let you go, will you let those innocent people go? I say in their language.
Make one final persuasion check. The DC is higher from the previous loss. This better be a good roll.
Natural 1.
Oh.
No.
All right, shoot
The tentacles begin to tug at the chain.
Bullet.
All right, you're firing? Go ahead and roll. Now, I will say, roll with advantage because it is currently held in place by 2 other harpoons, so it is easier to fire on it.
He's got
Plus
3
6.
barrels in him.
24.
24 hits. All right, go ahead and roll 68.
Oh, God. Okay.
Oh, I tried.
As soon as we see it attach,
Wow, 34.
as
42. 47.
whoa,
Hey.
7.
The stick, the other 2 have kind of like hit it in side elements. This one kind of scores right kind of in the core, almost triangulating its physical body. It's big enough to the point where it's doing damage, but it's not like, none of these are grievous wounds necessarily.
37.
I did
37.
not roll damage,
Oh, that's right.
but I don't want to hurt it.
Well, too bad. You didn't see where it was going.
Hit it with a harpoon, man.
Okay.
I'm taking that back.
Ooh, you rolled high and you're like, yes. I know.
Always right. Math is always right.
Shit, number was I on?
Don't know. 5, yeah.
32.
32. You got it. So yeah, it's it's taking hits, but it's a big beast with a tough hide. But you now have it triangulated with these harpoons. The captain goes, "We good?"
Yeah, we're in.
Bringing it up. They go ahead and disengage that one central part of the stock that they have.
We get our hands
All
on
right.
the pins for the
I'm gonna
release, just in case.
And the
Pins, hold
captain's
on to
gonna
the
hear in their
pins!
head.
Oh.
Raise it now.
I'm running over and grabbing pins.
They put forward the one ratchet that they had to hold back and put it into place. The central gem goes calm for a second, and you watch now the creature's tugging. It gets pulled in. They go ahead and grab another piece and put it down. All three of them strongly begin to radiate energy, and the ship once again begins to vibrate even heavier. As it does, the wheel begins to turn, and the ship begins to pull up at an angle. I just have somebody here roll a d20 for me.
I think that'd be me, yeah.
Go ahead and add 5.
Oh boy.
No pressure.
Oh boy, what if the ship cracks in half?
14.
14. It begins to slowly rise, and both of you watch as the feather fall, which makes this even remotely possible. You watch as it begins to be drawn out of the dust. And now you get the first true view of this massive beast as the dust and sand falls off of its form, scattering to the ground below, burying a large portion of the nearby road. Imagine a length squid, but its central body divides into 24 long tendrils, each that ends in a long-fingered hand that grabs and wraps around.
What?
In the center between them, you can see what looks to be a central. There's an eye on each side of the top of the head, the ones that you were looking at, and then deep underground, as you pull it free, there is a third eye underneath between all the tentacles. As it pulls out, you can see it grabbing onto the chains, and it's starting to pull itself
it's climbing up?
It's like now climbing up the harpoon chains, but the ship is carrying it. It is like airlifting it now off the side. Watch this on. This is like, are we holding out okay? Are we going okay? Please tell me we're okay.
We should do something about this.
We should get high and then just drop it.
Oh god.
No, we shouldn't. That would kill it.
Can we pull away from the caravan?
I'm doing it. I'm trying. The ship's now off to the right and just continues to move on in the opposite direction of the caravan, which at this point you can see is now getting far closer, on the cusp of getting itself up onto the rock base.
Great. I'm gonna fly and bring us back up onto the deck.
At which point the other deckhands go forward and they pull the sails forward. Woof, the wind hits, and even more force pulls it forward. The ship kind of begins to list slightly again, but just keeps itself on that angle before pushing forward further and further, and continues for about 2 or 3 minutes at as fast a speed as it can, carrying the weight kind of off in a southwestern direction.
How's it look down there? We lost sight of it a minute ago.
How close is it getting to the ship?
Is it getting closer to the
It's probably about 50 or so feet from its tender point.
Or should we lower so we're gonna drop this thing?
Yeah, we should lower down so we can drop it.
Lower it.
I'm gonna lower it.
Kill it.
And the ship begins to go, and it begins to dip quickly because now it leans into the weight.
It's definitely gonna kill something else.
All right,
but
This thing.
On the count of 3, let's do this. Is there a way to detach these chains?
3.
Yes, there are pins.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
All the chains dislodge and are dragged down the ship immediately. The immediate loss of weight and the amount of force behind it, it goes into a serious dive upward. Most people begin to slide back and tumble towards the back. The materials start like dragging down. I would say both Ashton and Chetney make a dexterity saving throw, because as you land and hit the wall, you look up and watch as the ammunition barrels tip over and all of the large, heavy ballista bolts start sliding in your direction.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Natural 1.
Okay.
What?
So the ship it picks up and then eventually evens out. As you're glancing over the side and looking, you watch the chains detach. The creature falls maybe about 40, 50 feet before into the dust, and then it digs itself back into the dirt and broken ground of the Hellcatch Valley, and you watch as the pattern of its movement is continuing in a southwestern direction, away from the encounter. The caravan itself is kind of now set up camp and just kind of taking its time there upon the stony top of the hill for its own safety.
I mean, we can't help them now.
I mean, I feel like we should. I feel like we should at
them.
least fly down towards the caravan and find out if they're the ones that stole the babies.
Or just, ask for money for saving them.
What if they made a liar out of me? I said that they weren't responsible.
It's about now that you all look over and notice that there is a large bolt that is like partway through the abdomen of Ashton and pinning them to the the wall on the deck.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry, you were all busy. I didn't want to interrupt anything. Clearly not.
Can I? Do you want me to
Is
take
this
it out?
happening?
You do take 24 points of piercing.
Oh my god.
24?
Yank it out of your torso.
That's
Are
what
you
they
going to
advise.
bleed out?
That's what they always say.
We gotta cauterize the wound.
That's what we got letters for.
Okay.
Yeah, I can heal.
On the,
Oh, this is gonna
Pull it
hurt
out
so
first.
we're
bad.
gonna do this on the count of 3.
Here, hold on.
Does anyone have heal?
Do we have
I'm
any
gonna give some fabric.
Temporary
Just
lava?
lie down.
All right.
This
I
is
can't lie
probably
down.
gonna
There's a
hurt.
point coming out of the other side.
Bite down.
He's
I'm
not in
fine.
his right
I'm
mind.
just gonna yell.
You're not in
Let's
the
do
right
it.
mind.
Okay, ready? We pulling it out?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the back end of the.
Get ready for cure
Right.
wounds.
1,
I
2,
rage.
3.
Okay. You pull it out. Immediately as it's withdrawn, it takes some meat with it. But dark stony meat. There you go.
I'll cast a cure wounds.
Okay.
Just level 1.
All right.
Oh, okay. You healed 10 points.
That is good. Ow. Ow. Well, it's been a great day. I'm going back to sleep. Goodbye.
Does the caravan look okay?
I don't make it to
The caravan looks like it's fine.
Are we
It's
are we
settled
buzzing the
and
caravan, or are we just gonna go
We
about
should
our
buzz the
merry-
caravan, see if they stole the babies.
Yeah, we could let him free.
Okay.
I'm not getting this kind of thing from happening again.
Yeah, that's true.
Take a moment to gather yourselves. At this point, the morning has now come into a proper early day. We'll say for the sake of
brevity.
Narrative brevity, in buzzing and possibly going down and visiting the leader of the caravan, they're a bit guarded, but thankful for your interaction. They do not have anything that resembles, nor do they have a space to carry anything that resembles the size of these creatures. I mean, based on the size here, you can't imagine the youngins to be too small.
Right.
And they do not have any the capacity to carry anything, and let alone keep something alive that, could be that dangerous.
I shoulder up to Chetney as we're talking to them and say, and of course we're just doing this out of the kindness of our hearts in order to help try and protect the valley and just bring a little bit more safety to it for weary travelers such as yourself, and really rely solely on charity and tips.
Oh.
Oh,
Make a
God.
persuasion check.
Oh, yes,
I
please.
was worried first.
As your ear falls off.
No.
Son of a bitch! This is what happens when you get all cheeky. Just take their shit next time.
What? And how much is our natural one?
Okay.
Tooth falls out.
They all look at each other. They all look at each other. The leader of the caravan nods. Thank you very much for your help. We'll put together a tip gathering service, and they go around and do collections. And about 15 minutes of waiting patiently, they come back with a bundle that includes 2 apples, 7 copper, and like some fleece that probably got wet and is a bit mildewed and musty.
That's good fleece.
But that's what you got. That's your tip.
It's good fleece. That's good fleece. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Would you like an apple? I give an apple to Chetney.
How's it smell?
Smells good.
F.C.G, you want some copper?
Yeah, sure.
Get froze, though.
Does he even have a tongue?
Weird.
Does F.C.G have a tongue? It just goes like,
Yeah, do you have like a silver flap for a tongue?
Let's just say yeah.
It's now canon.
But it's made of flesh.
Oh God, no!
All of a sudden, meat tongue.
Guys, the only thing that's actually alive.
They were a cyborg the whole time.
I hate this.
Slowly
I know.
turning back.
Flesh tongue FCG can't hurt me.
All right, set sail. We gotta get back on the road.
All right. So, a relatively eventful morning, but thankfully the rest of the day goes by without much of an issue. The gray horizons and cloud cover seems to be building up towards the south region of the valley, just enough to kind of give a coming gray evening and day or days to come. No signs of storm, but just a little bit of cover.
How many more days?
No, this is the final day.
This is the final day.
You did not roll anything that would have slowed your journey or with any major issues, it seems, and you successfully deterred the Dustra from the caravan. But eventually, the night comes, and as the sun sets and you see the small little breaks in the cloud cover above to see the familiar stars kind of reminding you of the night. The glow of Katha pushing through the clouds to give kind of a general kind of soft white hue to the ground below. That's where you see now lights in the distance. Just beyond the grooves of deep ravines and the numerous sprawling roads that carve over and through the handful of bridges that stretch across these lengthy distances where the ground itself seems to fall beneath for 100 or so feet. These paths all convene on one plateau that sits in the center of this area. And there you can see the lights of the city, Baceros. From there, the first things that catch your eye as you get closer, as the sun just finishes setting, you see a sprawling expanse of small hovels and stone buildings and tents and what looks to be an exterior city, like a sister city around the central city, with hundreds and hundreds of small little dots of light showing life and movement through the night. You see a large, heavy road of some kind that seems to be winding through and around the city, carving into the rock below and through the ravine that surrounds the nearby space. The actual central city itself is surrounded, buttressed by this tall red rock wall. You see where it stands at places anywhere between 30 to 60, 70 feet tall. And it seems to be either built out of or built deeply into the rock that this plateau is made from. At the space beyond it, you see the glittering mass of Baceros. Numerous convoluted city neighborhoods and sections that just kind of wind and tear through them like a jumbled trash heap with thousands of bits of candlelight and glowing firelights moving within it. You can see a half dozen or more tall smokestacks that rise far above the city, somewhat crooked in the way they make their way upward, and these small trails of black soot that drift off and gather with the clouds of the night sky. You also notice one central tower itself, the most jagged and improbable of them all. Looks like it's built from some sort of odd metallic scrap, rusted in some places, kind of ruddy and dark, other parts shiny and polished. And at the top of it, at its apex, a dull green light that seems to be almost moving, like the oddest lighthouse you've ever seen. And it's about then that the light shifts in your direction, and your ship is now completely emblazoned in bright green light, like a spotlight on you.
Oh, fuck, we're back.
Is this normal?
Yeah, this is normal. It's the Todic glow. It's kind of a spotlight thingy.
What glow?
The Todic glow.
The light kind of veers off of it, and you know from experience that you're likely to be intercepted at some point to see what you're about.
Yep.
The captain sets their leather strap onto the wheel of the ship to kind of keep it on course. Approaches you all. Okay, so good news is we're here. Bad news is we're seen. And not really much for landing too long, because if what I've heard is correct, sky ships that stick around here end up being kind of pulled apart and taken. So I'm just going to set you down. I'm going to leave you to your own devices. And when you need me, give me about a day or so. Let me know. I'll come pick you up. Let's go. And they go back to the wheel. hitch the edge of their long pulley onto it, and as they turn the ship, the gems begin to flare for a second and then begin to descend quickly towards the outer western side of the city's outskirts.
I go over to Imogen's skirt and I pull on it. Can I ride down this time?
Ride down, what do you mean?
Well, like, Laudna got up and she got the first one. Can I get numero dos?
I wasn't planning on flying again just yet, but...
Why not?
You're more than welcome to try to climb on my back as we head on down.
Are you going to fly?
No.
Take the piggyback ride, Chutney.
No, I don't want to spoil it. I'll wait.
Next time I fly, though, you can come with me.
Ooh! Deal.
All right.
Side note, when could you fly? When did that happen?
I don't know. I've never done it before. Just like seeing Orem fall off the side, it just kind of triggered something.
It started when it did.
Maybe just being on an airship, your body just acclimated. And was
Wouldn't it be
like,
funny
"It's
if I
time
could
to
do
fly."
it all along and I just never done it?
Maybe
Trusted?
If we gave you like a fish to hold, you could then suddenly breathe underwater or
I
something.
like where you're going with this.
That's a great idea, yeah.
Experiments.
I feel like we had just given you a little push on the Skyway. We could have had this going so much earlier.
Oh, God.
I'm Imogen Timalt, and this is Jackass.
As you get closer to the ground, you can now see, emerging from the nearest gates of the large red-walled portion of the city, a handful of dust trails beginning to come in your direction.
Welcome, party.
Tearing through the, what you know as the skids.
Yeah.
The Carmine skids. The ship begins to get close to the ground before it comes to gently rest on the dirt, as it does, kicking up a cloud around it. All right, everyone, get off now. If you don't mind, looks like we got crawlers incoming. So best to not to give them a reason to keep us here, huh? Go.
So much.
Yep.
Hey, thank you. So I go in for just a simple hug. Thank you so much for getting us here.
I'll take it.
I'm gonna try to take the
Go for it. Roll a sleight of hand.
Yeah, I was gonna say going for that because
natural 20.
Just in case.
There seems to be a
Very
lot
much not a natural 20.
today.
Hey, the least I could do. Quite literally is the least I could do. I don't really want to do this, but I owe your orc master my life and my job. So
Sure, it's just thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye.
all right. Stay safe, don't die, don't get murdered. You all step off the ship, and just as fast as the last foot leaves it, it takes off and begins to head in a westward direction. It's right about then that you hear this sound. It sounds like dozens of grinding metallic devices, like axes on axes. You're hearing like sparks and metal being pushed and ground against other parts of jagged scrap, as well as an odd, different kind of reverberation in the ground. You all turn back over in the direction of the city, and you now see from the plumes of dust massive machines. The front themselves, these thick, wide wheels covered in like scaled spikes that just grind into the dirt as they cruise over. And the first one you get a glance at, the back of it, is built like the rear side of a sort of terrifying beast horse. A pair of back legs that just grind and push into the ground with like metallic claws. As it grinds around the side, you can see on the back of it 2 figures riding it, kind of one holding a set of handles to the back and the one in the front having almost like a set of handlebars, turning it as it grinds down. And you see about 4 more, all same general build, but variations that seem like they've been cobbled by whatever could be found, and on top of that, built to be unique to whatever the personality of its owners was. As they all come to a stop, the first one, the person who was driving it, steps off and lands. You can see a heavy set of goggles on their eyes. You can see a heavy scarf kind of waddled around their neck and thrown off the side. The scarf itself, a jet black color, and as they approach, they hold a large hand axe to one side, put the other hand out in front, and you can see on their elbow there's a black tattoo in the shape of a sun. As the hand's out, the voice goes, Okay. Who the fuck are you? And what are you doing?
It's okay. They're just like this a lot.
I go invisible.
Ashton, are you good to talk to these people? People don't tend to like you.
We're just travelers coming in, hoping to visit some old friends, maybe do a little business, a little salvage. Name's Graymore.
Oh, you're from the house.
Yep.
Doing pretty well for yourself to come on a fucking skyship, wouldn't you say?
Well, doesn't belong to me.
I haven't seen one of those in at least 15 years.
It's the first time I've ever been on one.
Why are you here, Graymore?
Looking for somebody who pissed me off.
Give a persuasion check.
Guidance.
Nice.
Roll the die that's easier to read. I don't sit there making everybody wait. Oh no, 21. Sorry.
Hand goes down. I can respect that. You all with him?
Sadly.
All right. Is this Rusty's first time?
No, I've been here before.
I'm as shocked as anyone I know.
Welcome to Baceros. You're under the protection of the Gajakantas. By that I mean, just don't get in too much fucking trouble, all right? If you do, clean it up. You're all a bit bright. I'd suggest maybe not being as bright.
Oh, right. We get out the cloaks.
Throw it over.
And don't tell anyone you took that thing in here. That's going to be the talk of the city for the next week and a half at least.
That's a very good call. Thank you.
Don't fuck it up.
Do my best. Before you take off, I was just curious. It's been a while.
What? They're listening, but they're walking back and they're like, what you need? And they're stepping back up onto the
Is Death Wish still a thing?
When is it not? Skids past, throwing dust all in your direction. You all get completely surrounded in the cloud of dust before the other ones begin to purr alive. You can see some have flame jets out of the back of it. And they're just showing off at this point. They're just trying to spook you as they all kind of ride by, and then head back to the city.
What's Death Wish?
It will be the silver lining of this trip.
Yeah, but what is it?
The silver lining of this trip.
Oh, Ashton.
Gotta be something fun.
It's competition.
Don't worry. No one else is tracking us. I'm keeping an eye.
Where the fuck are you?
I'm watching our flank.
I'm gonna take a wild swing.
All right. Roll with disadvantage.
Natural one.
Oh yeah. It is a very wild swing. So wild that the hammer flies from your grasp and just
go. Yep, can't do that.
I saw that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pick that up. Oh, I gotta sleep.
All right. Well,
Where do we do that? Oh yeah. Gotta go find a place to sleep.
Where did we get dropped specifically? Are we outside? Sorry.
you are outside the city.
Giant walls?
You are on the outskirts of the giant walls. You are on the outskirts of the Carmine Skids. You are like essentially like outside of the outer ring of the city.
The Skids is almost outside the outer ring. The Skids is just kind of this place where it's a lot of people who honestly either can't or shouldn't be let in the city live.
Should we head straight into the city or spend
If
time
we can
out
find a
here?
place to sleep in the city, that would
Probably
go to the
be
strip?
best. Oh wow. Yeah, there's got to be somewhere to sleep on the strip.
The strip. You know,
Like a
every
mall?
town's got a strip.
They have all
Like
you
a
can
whole,
eat.
like a
steak.
whole strip, or is that a place? The strip.
It's the Salmagunda strip.
Salmagunda.
It's a big
I'm trying to remember
marketplace,
which place has like
But I don't know if that's
the Raw Den doesn't
for
have
inns or
sleeping quarters.
Yeah, it does. I mean, most so, and you'll notice this as you get in, and you'll probably inform them as you begin to enter the city. unlike places like Drusar, which have kind of taverns in the classic sense, as they have a lot of people that travel from around the world. As you get to, and you probably know this from passing through some other areas of the continent as well, they have what are called caravanserai, where like a tavern is one part bar, one part inn. Caravanserai are one part inn, one part shopping mall. It's generally has a large courtyard in the center, with a number of like carts and shops and hitching posts and place to like hitch up your beasts for the night and have a place to stay there. Bars and places to drink tend to be a little rough and tumble and outside of the sleeping arrangements, for the most part. But as you kind of giving a little bit of an overview of this, and you can expand upon this if you'd like to kind of give them an idea of what they're in for, you begin to approach the outside of the Carmine Skids. And immediately you see, now close up, a ragtag jumble of like small gathered tents, like large crates, like they carried massive war machines that have been built on top of each other and turned into a house, and have been retrofitted to be a living space. You can see bits of stone and clay that have been built up and set to be just a simple, cheap place to live. It very much has an odd, off-the-grid survivalist sense to it. And as you walk through, you can't help but notice people either not giving a shit that you're walking through or way too interested that you just walked in. There are folks that are out looking at and starting to speak and point towards the sky ship as it begins to vanish in the distance, the green light still occasionally coming onto it and kind of identifying it like a laser pointer at a distance, and begins to rouse new
Stop
interest.
and look at the ship for a minute.
Yeah. Point at it.
Wow, what is that? How cool.
Just out of curiosity, can I get a group deception check, please?
Oh, cool.
Wow,
Wow.
Ugh.
What a weird
12.
game this is turning out to be. 9.
8.
18.
26.
17.
12.
That's an interesting spread. Okay. Okay. Doesn't take too long for you to work through the skids and to get the sense that you're not standing out like sore thumbs necessarily, but you're certainly not blending in seamlessly with the people who live here. As you continue further and further towards the heart of the city, seeing the Carmine walls getting taller and taller as you approach, you also occasionally glance over your shoulder and get the sense that maybe you are being followed. You glance over and see something kind of just shift off to the side. You specifically, Orem, being the eagle-eyed member of this team and already kind of feeling a bit defensive, glancing about, you see like somebody jump from a rooftop to another rooftop nearby, just a shadow shift past.
Ooh. We have a can I yank on Ashton's pant leg? I don't have to reach that way. We have a tail.
Where?
Right here.
That's not my tail.
Rooftop. Over there.
Not a tiefling.
Chetney. Fuck all. Chetney.
Yes. Still invisible.
I think we've got a tail up on the rooftops. Be cool about it. We don't want to make any waves yet. Just let's see what this is about. Maybe.
No problem. I'll bleed him quiet.
No bleeding, please. Oh.
He's gone.
No, I don't. I drop like 10 steps or so back and like off to the side. Specifically now, keep an eye up on the roofs while they keep going.
Okay.
See what I can see.
Pressing forward and kind of quickening the pace a bit, you begin to approach the western gate.
As he's going off, I'm gonna make just a mental connection with him so we can talk.
Do you have to see the person to make a mental connection?
Ooh.
Why, yes, I do.
Well,
I can see within 30 feet of him.
Unfortunately, your memories.
Unfortunately, he's been invisible for quite some time, but...
Forget it then.
It's like I was never born.
The makeshift roadway here, the path which has been carved through foot traffic and the amassing of buildings on each side leads towards the western wall and the Carmine exterior. as you can see the large torches that kind of just burn upward, but the kind of black char marks that climb up a good 30, 40 feet above from the smoke and the heat. The gates are partially open, just enough for like a person to walk through one at a time. And you see two more individuals waiting there, one of which is a massive orc figure with a face mask pulled on. They have what looks to be a small helmet with a singular blade that kind of juts out like in the front. They also have the black scarf around their neck and those same like dark sun tattoos on their elbows. And to the right of them, you see another figure, human, looks a bit older, very thin legs, but like a built, like muscular shelf of a torso, wearing like heavy hide armor with looks to be like spikes jettisoning from it. They also have the same black scarf and the same elbow tattoos. And as you step close to it, the orc leans out and goes,
"You the out-of-towners?"
Mostly out-of-towners. A couple locals coming back.
Right, Greymore, right? They said you were coming in?
Yep.
All right. Get in.
Just kind of lean over and whisper to Ashton. Word certainly travels fast here.
Yes, it does. It travels very, very fast. By the way, and spread this around, don't overpay for anything.
Wait. Chetney, don't overpay for anything.
Trying to blow my cover.
Yeah. You're keeping a watch. Make a perception check for me.
Oh, yeah. The eyes of Chetney are upon... Fuck. 7. No, 10.
10.
I have not stopped looking either.
You can roll perception as well.
Yes.
But however, I would say with disadvantage.
Oh, I got 2 2s.
Oh, well, yeah, you are.
Then with advantage,
Yeah.
It's too crowded. I can't see over anybody.
So, you move through, kind of in single file, through the slight opening of the gate. The gate itself is about 20 feet tall, and it's made of a similar stone material. And as you move past, you can see now there is a massive, almost like a wooden breech piston on the back of each wall that is built into a giant chained wench. And you can see there's an ogre on each side that, as you step through, they begin to crank it. And as they do, it pulls, the wood begins to push against the doors, and it kind of snaps it closed behind you. You now stand within the walls of the city. And as you kind of look around, you can see the odd cityscape before you. There are little strange kind of warm yellow and red glows that seem to be from deeper into the path, and as it kind of backlights some of the tops of the nearby buildings, and it is just a ramshackle, ragged skyline. You can see there are hanging threads and cables. There are banners. There are oil lanterns and glass lanterns that dangle over intersections. It has this odd kind of nightmare bazaar meets a unique space where everything looks like it was found, cobbled together, and then presented proudly. You continue through what is considered the western dregs, the west dregs of the city.
Hey, Ashton,
Where are you taking them? Oh,
how do they know your last name so well?
You know, that's a story for after I've had a nice nap, I think.
Are you royalty of some sort?
No. Quite possibly the opposite.
What is that?
Let's take them to the Raha Den, I guess.
okay.
The rod?
The Raha Den. We're going to be... Don't want to stay somewhere too nice or too bad. You'll like this place. It's a lot.
At Ashton's lead, you are brought through the dreg sectors of the city, specifically the west dregs. And as opposed to the Carmine skids that you pass through, this area has a similar sort of just stacked and made from whatever's available neighborhood construction, but nicer materials, more materials, better kept. By comparison to, let's say, Drusar, it still looks like an incredibly dangerous place. There are hiding spots and tunnels and pipes and all manner of what looks to be collapsed bits of masonry and buildings that have been then scavenged and built upon in the same space over who knows how long. Some buildings look extremely old, like they may have been here for hundreds of years. Others look like they were built in the past 10. And they all just kind of are pushed together and stacked up. And you can see there are walkways that kind of, in fact, there are elements of this that remind you of the interior of the core spire where you previously lived, and can see probably threads of artistic inspiration, or at least, familiar survival instincts that led to the neighborhood where the Crook House itself is embedded within Drusar.
How crowded is it? Are there a ton of people around?
At this hour, it's not terribly crowded. At least not along the streets. It's not barren either. You'd say you pass by, maybe a dozen or so people every minute. And
Less crowded than Drusar, though.
Less crowded than Drusar at the moment.
Okay.
This kind of reminds me of when we found Shadana's place.
A bit, yeah.
Looking through, as you begin to grow closer and closer to the central region of the city on the northern side, you keep an eye on some of the people that pass by. You see some other figures that are also wearing kind of outward intense armor that are both made for function and for intimidation. Some have blades that are woven into the leather and the tips broken off to show that they've probably left themselves embedded in somebody else in some sort of a fist fight or a bar brawl, or it's just for show and look like they've got involved with something dangerous. You pass by what looks to be one tall, lanky, red male tiefling who just kind of his head hangs down between his long shoulders that kind of point out the sides, and his arms kind of just swing from side to side. And he just kind of mad dogs you as he passes, and as he kind of glances over at you, Imogen, kind of goes, and just walks on past.
It's nothing compared to you, Laudna. It's nothing.
It was just posturing.
Yeah, it was
Clearly has a tiny penis.
A tiny peen.
Yeah,
I go and I remove one of his Achilles tendon.
Rolled his face.
Yeah, bitch.
Are you?
No.
Okay.
Strange.
Continuing inward, you can see now the lantern clusters begin to grow more and more numerous and oddly beautiful at many of the intersections and at regions in the city where it seems like more small carts are set up where individuals are out there just kind of gathering and talking story and in the process of eating small snacks and just kind of watching, people watching as individuals pass by. You see an older man in particular with a long pipe who's kind of bundled up in layers and layers of multicolored rags who just kind of, every time he takes a puff, kind of lights up his face a bit, and then he blows out this awful green smoke that gives this kind of musky incense smell that first is pleasant, but then it quickly grows unpleasant as it fills the space. But up in the middle of this, a variation of that perhaps.
Yeah.
But you do see dozens and dozens of wires that just tangle and tie together hanging above, and from that probably about 20 or so different lanterns, some broken and have just been left up there, some that are just oil-filled lanterns that are on the very end of their wick, just giving a soft, almost firelight to it. You see a few magical baubles that are tied up into the mix that give off different colors, and it just kind of has this oddly alluring trash heap in the air kind of a vibe that also is weirdly pretty. Asshole.
Wait, is this what I'm supposed to do with this?
Yes.
Storm.
Oh!
Boom.
Okay. When did you?
Yeah.
That's what
Take your time to shine.
I missed the bombs then.
As you get closer to the center of the city, another sound similar to what you heard when those massive constructs came through, but deeper and more distant. And you pass by what looks to be an open, kind of a shop yard, where there are all manner of contraptions and metal arches with cables that hang from it. And you can see over there are multiple tinkerers and engineers currently working on one of those machines, but this one is larger. The others can carry like 2. This may carry 4 or more individuals. It has 2 wheels in the front that have almost like these beast claws that hold onto them. And when I say beast claws, it's very much like a welder's interpretation. It's not finely made. It's multiple different types of metal and ore and ingots that have been welded and pushed and bent and hammered to kind of resemble claws, but in a kind of a rickety, easy to get tetanus kind of way. On the back, you can see multiple poles that drift up, and there are banners that tatter and pull behind, one of which looks like an eye with a claw through it, and it looks like multiple drops of blood that drift to where it kind of just ends and tatters.
We're stealing one of these at some point, right? I mean, like it's a thing that we're doing? Okay.
Feels like it.
And then what catches your eye is the much brighter interior past an inner set of small walls and a broken archway that appears to have fallen from the center, but it still kind of gives you the entrance to what is the Salmagundi Strip. Here, you immediately see what is a massive, vibrant marketplace. Those same clusters of lights and lanterns are everywhere. It's almost like a network that doesn't end. Like when you see those large clusters of seaweed that gathers over the ocean, like elements of those stretched across, almost blanketing at every major intersection between multiple buildings, sometimes just like singular threads of cable keeping them together, but it is just a web that continues and spreads and pulls all across. And from here you can see all manner of warmly lit buildings with raucous laughter and what sounds like fist fights going on. You can hear hard music playing, discordant, out of tune. You can see groups of individuals wandering out and just vomiting on the side of the road and going right back in for another round, as well as these large multi-tiered buildings that themselves are lit even brighter from the inside with arch entryways, and you can see there are hitching posts on the outside, and there's quite a bit of foot traffic going in and out. Eventually coming upon one that you see that is made of stone and glass and silk that rises 3 stories up towards the kind of central portion of this. You know this to be the Rahaten. There is a vast courtyard as you step through. The interior of the structure itself is roofed, and you can see there are some nice kind of mural-like paintings, but some of it's just kind of with age become weathered. The colors have faded. In other areas, it looks like there's just damage. Something impacted heavily, and some of the stone broke off and fell in, and you can see there are some boards kind of holding elements of it up. It looks like it could probably use some repair. People kind of push past you. Some folks kind of just watch as you enter, kind of keenly, trying to take in the details of folks they haven't seen before. And then as you reach towards the center of the structure, it opens up into the courtyard where there are dozens and dozens of carts and small huts and tents. You can see there are barkers, individuals holding up food, and you can smell just a mixture of all manner of dishes and meats and herbs and fried vegetables. And it is, from what your entrance to the city felt like, an unexpectedly familiar and comfortable smorgasbord of probably whatever you could want at this hour after a tiring day of travel. So, what would you like to do?
Rooms and food. Rooms and food.
Rooms and food, yeah.
Rooms and food.
Jenny, are you here?
Yes. Keep an eye out for pickpockets too. It's crowded.
Has anybody been coming near the group? Have they been giving us a reasonable berth?
Most everyone's giving a reasonable berth, from what you can tell. This isn't the kind of place you gather, at least at this hour, where strangers are immediately approached by the general populace. Both of you make perception checks.
What about our tag along? I was just about to ask.
Yeah, what about our tag along?
How many rooms also?
19 this time.
15 for me.
Tag-alongs are really fucking good.
Three rooms, 2 rooms.
Big fan of
I'll use my
sports.
nose too. Just
Say three rooms.
Did you know the password over there?
Huh?
Yeah, we'll
Did you
do
know
3
the
rooms.
password?
Okay. So you approach the main kind of circular desk that sits towards the southern edge of the courtyard, and there you see the massive female Pakidan, the tall elephantine female proprietor of the inn and room section of this caravanserai. She turns big, toothy smile with these long tusks that are adorned with all manner of like brass and gold, and you can see like dangling chains from them. The rest of the body, it's dressed in like billowing silks of blue and white. They spin around and kind of lean over the edge, looking down at you, Ashton.
Why, hello. What can I get for you?
I'd like to grab a couple rooms, or a few rooms. 3 if you've got them, as close together if possible.
They look back behind the desk.
That can be accommodated, yes. That would be for the 3 rooms. 1 gold, 2 silver for the night.
I can do that. I'm going to pay entirely in silver. So.
All right.
That's 11 silver.
Take the back staircase. It'll lead you to the 2nd floor. From there, you will find the rooms with these key numbers.
Thank you. Food's going to be open late.
It never closes.
Thank you.
Pachyodon have fingers?
Yes. They're thick fingers, and when they're balled into a fist, it can almost act as like the thicker trunks of the back legs.
Okay.
But they do have fingers, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's put our... I wouldn't even say let's put our stuff down. Let's just put as much of our stuff into the just going to call it the memory hole. I don't have a better term for it right now.
Memory hole.
Yes, we better remember what we put in there.
Yeah, let's do it in the room, though.
We'll do it in the room.
What stuff do we have?
And then, yeah, just, it can get a little rowdy. So, be cautious.
Okay.
Gonna check out our rooms.
All right. The rooms are fine. They're definitely serviceable. You can sleep here, but this is not necessarily the upper scale of living across Marquette.
Are they more like hovels, or are they more like canvas tent type of things, or like shacks?
So going up in the 2nd floor, on the outer rim of the, because there is not really an outer wall that you can tell on the upper shelf of the caravanserai. There is a back wall, and then there is the rest of it is tightly pulled fabric.
Okay.
And it can be closed and it can be locked off, but it's not necessarily a super secure room.
Yeah, well, we've got our stuff
in this place,
safely put away, so we're fine.
At least that's your robbery.
Watch too.
Yeah.
Just to be careful before we go. What do I have? Does anybody have something small?
Like what?
I don't know, like a one of those jacks, or like a
Got a ball bearing?
something that doesn't roll necessarily.
I've got wooden feet.
I've got a caltrop.
Fish hook? Yeah, cow chop. That'll work, right?
As long as it's small, like the size of like a silver piece.
300 gold diamond?
That'll do it.
I have this piece of moldy felt that I just got.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some...
3 pieces of wood.
Please.
3 pieces of wood.
3.
3. Small. Just extra stuff.
I have a thimble.
That'll do.
What's wrong with my fleece?
Oh, thimbles roll, though.
It's got to be big enough to not slip under a door.
Does it need to look like anything?
Nope. In fact, better if it doesn't.
But I need just some direction,
This feels like a riddle.
I know. You really got to start filling us in on some
I'm
stuff.
going to need
Ash.
your help with this. So I put an object in your room.
My room.
Yeah, the room that you guys are going to be using.
Alright.
Put it. I'm going to slowly shut the door, and I need you to back that up against the door. If you can do that with your.
Here, this one's shaped like a circle, this one's shaped like a square, this one's shaped like a triangle.
None of those are useful.
But I needed...
I'm just kidding. Give me 2.
Which ones?
Whichever 2 you like best. Not the circle. Square and triangle.
Triangle. Ah!
Worth
Boy,
every
who's
penny.
hungry?
I see. So
Set 'em
with
up.
each door, after it's closed, I'm gonna use my mage hand to pull it right against the doors.
You've got it.
Just to
And
see
We'll
how
know
safe
if
these are.
anything-
And to help kind of clarify the spaces you have, like when you walk into the room, the hall that leads to it is enclosed, and there is like a wall that it's against, and you go through the door into it. Each of these rooms is built on a platform, and it's a solitary platform that kind of goes out and exists not next to the other rooms. There is a 10-foot gap between each one, and there is like a dip, about a 10-foot kind of slide that goes underneath it. Like they're kind of built like spokes on the outside of a tower.
Cool.
And from there, the rest of the walls on each side and across the way are tightly pulled canvas that is affixed to poles, and it allows airflow in the hotter days and allows, comfort and insulation during the night.
So if you were going to break into these rooms, you wouldn't be doing it through the doorway.
If you didn't want people to know you were in there.
Right.
But the walls, they're not haphazard either. It comes with its own challenges. You could cut your way into it, yeah.
So this is not. If you didn't want anyone to know, you'd use the door.
There's nice yurts.
But yeah,
let's go get some food and some drink because I feel like shit.
It feels like glamping.
Yeah, kind of a little bit. And happily answer questions.
All right. So you quickly enough can find yourself a number of areas within the caravanserai here, within the Rahaden, where food is available of all different kinds. You can essentially look for whatever you're looking for, something meat-oriented, something more soup or curry-oriented. If you're looking for something more vegetable-based, tofu-based, it's all pretty much available here in some way or another. Usually thicker broths, as well as some, let's say at this hour, it's a little more limited. Some of the more boutique and specific meals seem to have closed up cart for the night, but the more all-night circumstances are readily at your disposal. But food is yours, and there are spaces to sit, or you could go back to your rooms if you'd like.
Let's sit and grub, man.
Yeah, let's sit and
do a little people watching.
Maybe we can get a little bit of everything, and just kind of have like a sampler, like
Poo-poo platter.
Sure.
I hate that phrase, but yes, exactly.
Have you guys let any of us know that there's somebody tailing us?
Yeah. Well, I didn't.
Who has the thing that detects if Armand Treshy is around?
Yeah, do we
Oh, yeah.
wait till
who has
morning
that?
to put
I
it?
think I have that.
Can we use that once
I've
a day?
got the scrying.
Yeah, we should print
Sure.
it out.
Yes, let me do it in one of our rooms.
Yeah,
Sure,
It's in somebody's inventory. I don't remember.
It's fine.
It's yours?
Yeah, let's grab all of our food and we'll go do that in the rooms.
All right.
See if he's within a couple miles, right? It has a couple mile range.
Something like that.
I'm gonna stay outside the rooms and just keep an eye.
Okay. A perception check for me.
Perception check.
Oh!
Talking to you, Chet.
Didn't even perceive the
13!
Got it. Noted. All right. So you're pulling out the sphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is like it's a small kind of almost looks like a fiberglass sphere. It has that when light hits it, it has this kind of odd striation and expansion of light that it doesn't act like a normal crystal ball. And it's been kind of dull since you've achieved it, and you've looked at it a few times during the journey, and it just kind of looks like what it does. No real change in perspective. As you pull it out this time, you see within it there is almost like a bright blue firebug glow that sits in it, and it's pushing towards one side of the sphere.
Which side? What
Turn
direction
around.
would it be?
From where you are now, and knowing kind of the iteration of the city, it would be in a southern direction, kind of slightly southwest. And as you turn around, it shifts within to ensure that you can pinpoint the direction. It kind of just continues to focus in the direction.
Let it out.
I don't know our orientation. Is that pointing towards the center of the city? Or?
It is. So the Salamanda Strip is on. It kind of devours the northern edge of the city. So it pointing to more of a southwestern direction.
Okay.
Could be as far as the South Drags, if
could be.
Okay.
How far did Estros say that thing tracked?
It's about
Like 3 miles.
2 or 3 miles.
Comedy.
So, the question is, do we sleep, rest, and go after this guy in the morning, or what if we go to sleep and wake up and the dot's gone and we've lost him forever?
Well, we could, take watch and take turns and see if it moves.
Does it just work always? Can we use it 100 times a day?
If I just kind of
doesn't seem to be changing or diminishing. You didn't activate it. As soon as you just pulled it out and looked at it, it had the glow in proximity.
As we're talking, how well can I hear them from the hallway area of this?
I mean, from the hall, not too well, because the wall that leads outward is pretty well insulated, and the door itself fits very snugly against that wall. You'd have to listen from another room to really
Sounds
get
like
it.
Charlie Brown's adults when they talk.
Yeah, pretty heavily muffled.
I could use some sleep. I am kind of drained. I can't imagine, Imogen, that you flew a lot today. It's been a day.
Yeah. I mean, sleeping would be nice,
It would
but
be nice.
I certainly don't want to let Trisha get away either.
Well, how about this? We have somebody stay up, in shifts like we do, and keep an eye on the ball.
If it goes
out,
Isn't that what I think?
we know what direction.
we know
Not a
he's
worm,
gone
dude.
too far, and we need to get up and move.
And have a good sense of which way to start.
Correct.
How big is the city all the way around?
The walls themselves, you'd probably be looking at a 4 mile.
So it's very possible to stay in the city.
4
and
miles
vanish,
across
but-
from edge of the wall to wall, and then this gets expanded from there.
Sure. So it'd be very possible to still be in the city, even if they could hit the outskirts of the city and we would lose them, but it wouldn't mean they were necessarily out of the city yet.
Sure. All right.
All right.
Okay. He could be sleeping.
Yeah. Yes, we could.
In fact, I'm going to, You said we know which way is north, south, east, west. I've got a general. I'm going to set the sphere in the center on the ground and just draw a little compass around it, pointing
Okay.
in the directions and all the cardinal
So
directions.
we'll know if it moves a little bit.
Correct.
Hey, that's so smart.
Good looking out.
And
That's all right.
but put it in. Too tired to fight. Set it in the center and just see for a second if it seems to be trailing one direction or another.
Okay. Make a perception check.
That one has been failing me. What the fuck? It's actually not as bad as I thought it was. It's still not great though. 14.
14. You take some time and just focus, looking for any sort of shifting in the blue glow. But you don't notice any sort of shifting, no signs of it kind of drastically going to a different direction in the city or any sort of movement at the moment. It seems pretty stationary.
Probably sleeping.
And
as well. We should do that then.
The farther away is, the less perceptible any kind of shift in that is going to be.
That's also true.
Do you know of any good inn on the south side if we wanted to relocate tomorrow?
Define good.
Somewhere he'd stay.
If I were him, I would not stay somewhere good. And I also might add, I think that we're currently in about as good as it gets.
I just do you know of any place?
There's one place in the
There's one
South Dregs.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. Shit. Yeah. Fucking South Dregs.
Fucking South Dregs.
Hate you.
Does it have a name, Ashton?
Yes.
Is it Death Wish?
South Dregs. It's no. God, are we really doing this?
No, I have to.
It's called A Taste of Tal'Dorei. Oh, Jesus.
Is that a theme
It's a
restaurant?
shitty buffet. Please tell me it's a casino buffet.
It's a shitty theme restaurant.
It's a shitty theme
Is
restaurant.
there a diver that comes out in the middle?
Oh my god.
It's been a while.
I've always wanted to.
But I remember being just embarrassed for even being myself every time I went in there.
Did you work there?
No.
Were you a cliff diver?
You worked there.
Cliff
Did you juggle?
Don't juggle.
You just lower the flags after people
It
got
just,
the order.
it's,
Yeah. Did you joust?
you know, there are things I will answer about this place. There are things that I want to keep secret that I will let you know about what they are. This is one thing that I don't think I could describe accurately. It is its own special.
Guys,
Can't wait to see it. I've
when
always
you
wanted to
ask
visit Tal'Dorei.
Ashton a question,
Oh, boy.
the answer comes in 24 to 48 hours.
Thank you. I have a lot to read here.
Taste of Tal'Dorei.
I just don't like talking when we're walking around the city.
Should we sleep tonight?
Let's
That's
sleep and then
Sleep, but somebody should keep guard.
funny.
We should take
I will.
watch.
I'll keep guard.
Okay. So,
we eat food and shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
You finish your meals, you go to your corresponding rooms, and you're taking first watch? Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead and roll perception for me.
as we get ready for bed, I'm just gonna pull Imogen aside and say, "Hey, do you? This seems like a weird time and place to do it, but if you're interested in that dream thing, just let me know when a good night is to maybe do that, and I could try it.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Thank you.
And I'll get Laudna
Right,
too.
yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Anytime.
Okay. What'd you roll for perception?
23.
23. Listening out and keeping watch, there's a couple of moments where you pick up sounds. At one moment, it sounds almost like somebody is climbing the exterior, and you get nervous and about to let people know, and then you just hear laughter from it as somebody falls and hits the ground, and you hear somebody like, I told you couldn't do it! Stupid drunken sot! And footsteps wander off a bit. Another part of the night, you hear like heavy flapping, like some sort of desert bird has landed atop where you're resting. And then eventually, after about an hour, takes off. But nothing else worries you. You can still hear, though you are sleeping because you are exhausted, no matter where you are, the odd thing you catch is the music and the kind of liveliness of the caravanserai is ever present. And when you're in your tent, it is interesting because it's slightly muffled from the inside. But you notice any sound coming from the inside of it is gone. There is like a mild enchantment on the rooms, the material that makes them, that prevents sound from emitting from the inside. But you can certainly hear it from within. But no issues on your watch. Who's taking next watch?
I'll take it.
Oh, wait.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
What do I want to do?
What do I want to do?
What do I want to do?
I'm going to go over to F.C.G.
Okay.
Do it.
She's the kid who goes, without having anything to say. Hey, I got a joke.
I take his wheel.
You're in sleep mode?
Eyes are totally clouded over.
Green screen.
Fleshy tongue hanging loose.
No.
That's not. That's not it.
Not canon.
There's a little cursive.
No.
I am going to look around
Mm-hmm.
the frame of F.C.G. and try to look for any buttons.
Buttons?
Like the foot?
Like pushable buttons or like clothing buttons?
Just like no, like a pushable button, like a switch.
I don't know.
Make an investigation check. Investigation or perception, really, your choice.
Okay.
Oh,
Help
shit.
you on it.
Well, that's not very good. 14.
14. You give a pretty thorough view based on what's visible and how F.C.G. is resting. You don't really see any buttons. You do see some shapes and patterns that look like they're somewhat circular in places.
Look for the dirt button.
Okay. I'm gonna lean in and give him. Just start sniffing him.
Okay. No, you have a fairly decent sense of smell, and there is kind of an iron-like, kind of like wet metal smell, if you know what I mean, as well as, I'd say, a scent of old wine and ale that's probably been settling within the internal cavity when you briefly used it as a canteen.
Stinky in there. I'm going to
I
take
think I forgot
my,
to do
my
an internal
hand
cleaning on
with
them.
the claws, and I'm going to just drag it across the blades of grass on the front of his chest. Huh. All right, I'm going to go to bed.
Okay.
Lead on.
Does that wake you up? Is that why you did?
Yeah, so you go to take your watch because the first thing you see when you wake up is Fern's claws just scraping across the front of your chest.
Why'd you do that?
I was just tracing the blades of grass
Oh.
on your
Weren't you
chest.
supposed to be like watching?
I absolutely was. I was. Just checking it all, making it all, just checking it. And I check on you guys when you're sleeping to make sure everybody is,
Thought you'd come over and just rub me a little.
Well, let's not make it weird, but
Okay.
just making sure.
Well.
I think we should clean you out a little bit because you're starting to smell a little rusty on the interior of your body.
Okay.
I don't need to do it. Someone else, we can go to a spa or something.
Sure, maybe just like flush me out with some water or something.
Yeah. All right, you need anything?
No, I think, well, I need a little wood.
Oh? Like a little piece of wood?
Yeah.
Okay, how small?
I don't know. It's big. It's kind of big.
Okay, I'll see what I can find or take tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe when we shop tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll find something for sure. Okay. I'm gonna peek out the window real quick. Do we have a window?
It's not so much a window more than it's like a split of curtain that you can go ahead and pull open, and there is almost like an oval shape in the furthest most wall of pulled material.
What's the moon situation?
Glancing over what you can see, from your current perspective, you can look out through the window actually and glance up, and you can see the kind of the dark, ruddy coloration of Ruidus in the sky. Katha is kind of maybe an hour away from vanishing beneath the distant mountain line.
Okay. Good night.
Night.
Okay. For your watch, roll perception.
Before I do that, I arc my cranium down and just check. Did she smudge or scratch or anything?
Did you intend to smudge or scratch
No,
anything?
I was literally just tracing the blades of grass with my fingers.
Okay, so no damage, nothing changed.
Just sort of stare at her and make sure that she falls asleep.
I feel him staring.
I don't blink.
Oh.
All right, I'll start my watch.
Okay.
What is this? Perception?
Perception.
20.
20, okay. Pretty uneventful. I'd say about another 2 hours into it, you also hear some sort of large bird landing outside.
Having been in town before, is this a normal occurrence?
I mean, occasionally, but it still sets your nerves on edge.
Sure. How close?
Maybe like 20 feet.
20 feet, like straight up?
Like up and somewhere that you can't really see. You're just hearing it through the current.
Are there windows?
There is that you can glance like through that opening, the material across the
I will
way.
pull open the material and just sort of look out and see if I see anything.
You see kind of further up the kind of rising towers, the barely the shape. You don't have dark vision, do you?
No, I don't.
And given the perception you gave, you could see the general outline of something kind of rustling its wings, but it's just resting on the tower.
I'll immediately close the curtain and just sort of back up slowly and soundlessly into the corner and sort of shrink down and go behind a chair or something and just sort of wait and look up at the ceiling, listening for anything.
Okay. It just stays there until the end of your watch comes. It seems to have either roosted or gone to sleep for the rest of the night.
All right. Jenny. Jenny.
Yes, what?
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
No.
Are you doing next watch?
Yeah, I mean,
Can you?
I am now, yeah.
Can you? Isn't this the
Yeah,
third
I
one?
thought that was the second watch.
There's something out there.
There is?
I need you. I need your cunning.
Oh.
I need you to No, it's the other one.
I get bats in the cave all the time.
Can you go out there and just look up and see if you can see like a big fucking bird?
Fucking bird.
A bird? A bird. Sure. Just see what it looks like.
I was supposed to be watching the ball.
Okay. Like a big bird?
It's huge.
All right. Now, use the chisels to part the draperage.
Okay.
Do you have dark vision?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's I got you.
Make a perception check for me. This will be for your watch as well.
Can I use my nose as well to get advantage? A little sniff and a look?
Guidance.
I'll say since this creature's far enough away, and I'd say no for this one. This is more of a visual one.
Guidance is
But
a
it's probably all along, because it... Oh.
19.
19. Indeed, you see some sort of like large hawk-like animal that's kind of roosted up against the tower. You can see kind of in some of the design grooves of it, about 15 or so feet up, there is some gathered bits of like dried brush, like a small nest has been settled, and it's just kind of like nestled in and asleep. Its head cranes over and glances over. As it does, you can see like the nearby lantern light, the eyes kind of like glint just a hint as it moves past the moonlight.
There's like a hawk outside.
Is it a beautiful bird or sort of a mangy bird?
Did it look like a normal hawk-ish from
It looked like a normal hawk.
I mean, it looked like your standard fair hawk. It looks like there was a nest. Didn't seem to be made of fingers or anything. Just, normal shit.
So it's got a nest here.
Seemed like it. Well, there seemed to be something that it was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not mangy.
I'm no judge of hawk, but...
All right.
Seemed pretty like a basic ass.
If it comes in here, kill it.
Would it come in?
I don't know, but
Who
it
used
doesn't
to live here? Do they fucking intrude like that? I'll open it up and wear it like a hat.
If it's the one I'm thinking.
The one you're thinking?
It doesn't sound like it, though. It doesn't. They're all sleeping. Sound like it, though.
I need the story. What happened?
Is he just bringing
Now
this
I
up?
can't sleep.
You start with, it was a night like this one. Hold on.
It was a night like this one.
Oh, God.
Except it was the night when everything changed. There's a bird. There's a bird that hates me. It wants me dead, or worse, humiliated.
Why, F.C.G.? Why?
I don't know. I don't know what I did to it, but it hates me and won't let me alone. It's
I
unrelenting.
think he's making it up.
It chases me everywhere I go in the waking hours and the evening hours. It haunts me.
Take my hand. I won't let this hawk take you.
Well, it's not a hawk.
I
That's why I don't think this
son of a bitch.
That's why I don't think this might not be it. So
My chisel is yours.
all right.
I swear.
Thank you.
Are we bonded now?
Oh, is that what you were trying to do?
I was showing genuine interest in you.
I think that's very nice of you. You were trying to help me there.
Did this creature chase you out of this place before?
No, it chased me around. It's always overhead, waiting for me to expose myself.
Understood. I may use you as bait, but
no, please don't.
We'll get it. No, it's okay. The less you know, the better.
Don't tell the others. They'll think that this is foolish, but...
What, being scared of a hawk?
It's not... I'm not scared of the hawk. I just don't know what it wants from me. And also, it's not a hawk.
I can't imagine what it would want. Well, if you recall or recollect any more details.
It's got a name.
Oh! You lead.
What is it? Well, I named it. It's named Shithead. Because it shits on my head whenever it sees me.
Oh my god.
Oh. Okay. You know, I've been around for a minute, and I feel like your experience could be a shared one.
Don't tell the others.
No, I won't.
This is you and me thing.
There are a group of people that have made it through this same experience that you have. But this will just be you and me until Shithead comes down. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Does he have any markings, a color?
His mange.
Is he missing an eye?
He's missing some feathers.
Okay.
He has hate in his eyes.
Has he got both of his feet?
I think so.
Okay.
He's large.
Does he have a particular, like, squaw or cry that...
Yes.
Okay, you'll let me know if you hear it.
It's horrifying.
Okay, you call it out. What's our code word if you hear it in the distance? Because I may not be as attuned to it as you are.
Shithead?
Shithead, okay. I got your back on this.
And my head.
And your head.
All right.
And keep that dome squeaky clean.
All right, thank you.
Oh, shit.
I'm going
Sleep, gentle F.C.G.
I'm not going to be watching the. But I'm taking a break for.
I touched the blades of grass. Sorry. I was trying to
smudge it all right.
The rest of the watch is somewhat uneventful, but sure, you're now considered a trusted companion through a shared secret and oath of protection. I'll allow it. But the sun does rise here in the Hellcatch, and you expect it to be warmer, especially when the light begins to hit the sleeping side of an inn. It tends to bake the interior as temperature rises. But thankfully, the material it's made from lets just enough air through that it's much more comfortable, kind of wind chilled. Also, the kind of grayer, dappled skies that you saw the day before have definitely kind of pushed in a bit. And so while it is still the valley, it doesn't feel quite as sun-beaten and bright as it was upon your approach in previous days. But the morning is yours as you all begin to awaken and find yourself here amongst the city, now loud with movement and voices and work and the distant sounds of mechanical tools and grinding and the occasional sound of what sounds like one of these crawler engines. What would you like to do?
Has the dot moved in the orb?
It looks like it hasn't moved for the night, actually. All right. It's pretty stationary.
What do you think? Should we get up and head towards it?
Yeah, we came here for a job.
Yeah,
Let's do the
I checked it most of the night that I
ever
was.
move? Did it ever try?
Is it still facing the same direction?
Just stayed real
It is.
still.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's head towards it, and if we decide to get some brunch, there is an option.
There's a grilled corn on the cob cart that I'm just gonna.
Okay, that's fine. It's good actually because the food there's well, you'll find out.
Yeah.
Easy enough to gather food for the morning. You go ahead and load up whatever your sustenance choices may be. And
I'm gonna take my coins and tuck them inside my shirt and everything so that they're not jingle jangling around.
You got it.
I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle.
Oh. Also, as I wake up,
Mm-hmm.
I immediately look at pate and sashimi from where I place them next to me. Do they move? Are they in a, erotic position?
Actually, no. They seem comfortably still basking in the afterglow.
I just kind of look at them and I wink and I'm like, I was tired last night too.
I see Lada doing this, and I say, I see you're focused. It seems like it's missing something, doesn't it? I was working last night. I have something for you. So I started on your request for, a girlfriend for Pate, but then you picked up that piece of shit. So I just figured, I don't know how domesticated they want to be, but I figured if they wanted to explore more of like an official thing, this is from that tree in Eaton Square, and I just figured they could,
You see her lip quiver.
I just wanted a more rustic approach, not as refined.
It's beautiful.
They'll carve their own story.
It reminds me of the shacks that Pate and I stayed in when we traveled across Taldore, and they'll be able to shack of their own. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Oh, you're very tall. This is very awkward.
They deserve happiness.
They do. And that way they can do things that you seem to want them to do behind closed doors instead of out in the open. Like
their privacy. It's important to a healthy relationship.
Walls, they also get creative.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But lug it around forever. You can just throw it in the hall or whatever. It's your call.
I just kind of go over and shove it in their faces. Look what he made you. Look what you have.
Stop looking at me!
All right, gathering yourselves and your materials and tools and weapons and goods. What are you off to?
Southeast.
Okay.
Bouncing ball.
Okay. You exit from the Raha Den and begin to weave through the Salagunda Strip. You get first sense that for these busy days, the hustle and bustle, there's small levels of violence aren't that uncommon. Even just last night as you came in, occasionally you see someone punch somebody else out to kind of just deal with a moment of frustration. And occasionally you see some major arguments, some heated arguments turn into fisticuffs. But there isn't much of a rule of law around here. As much as you were told when you arrived you were under the protection of the Gajakandas, you're not certain how far-reaching that might be. But what does catch your ear, as you move maybe a block and a half beyond the Raha Den, is a shout to your right. A voice that just goes, "Ha! Can't get away, can you?" And you hear another voice go "Give us the sword and drop it on you, if you know it's good for you."
That sounds like someone in distress.
Just an open, but we can't see this. We hear this from around a corner.
You hear this off to the right hand side as you're walking, and no one else around is giving a shit. They just keep doing their thing.
Can we see what it is? Yeah. Who it is?
You glance down. You're passing by some of the ramshackle buildings, and there is a couple of larger protrusions of stone and rock, and there's an alleyway that leads behind where you can see tents and some left scrap and garbage, and you see somebody standing there. Who's kind of in shadow. You can't really make out their details, and you see other figures just kind of beginning to encircle around them. They have weapons out. You see one kind of standing up on the stone area, who's just kind of hands out in front, rubbing them, and you see other figures, weapons drawn, encircling them.
That's some shitty bullshit.
And so at that point, you hear a voice call for help. Which was a very quiet call for help.
Quiet voice.
But if I could have, there it is.
Over there.
Somebody help me!
What a smoky voice.
Indeed, as the voice shouts, Erica, if you wouldn't mind joining us at the table.
Hello. Sorry, let me move my doll
here.
It's beautiful.
Isn't it? They're gonna be so happy.
Cool. Let's see how that turns out.
More?
Yeah.
So,
You're good. Did you move? No, you're good.
as you all glance down and see this scuffle happening, seeing this scuffle happening, the figure that appears to be encircled by this troop of aggressive figures, if you would describe who they see in the middle of them defending themselves.
You see a very slight, wayfish-looking elf. Clearly, you can tell by the pointy ears. They have close-cropped black hair, tousled a bit. They have armor, the color of the autumn, that's clearly in disarray. And they have a rapier by their side that they're clutching guardedly. The rapier has shards, what look to be crystals, and interwoven metal barbs on the hilt. They have a tattoo climbing up their arm of the ocean waves, but rendered out in polygonal fractals. And she looks very, very afraid. Please, I don't, this is all I have.
Good, and it's all we're gonna have. Chop it, you live. No, we cut you and leave you.
No! And I lunge forward a little bit with the rapier, and you can tell that there's a bit of knowledge there. Like, clearly there's fencing skills, but it's rusty.
You especially pick up on this, Orem. What are the rest of you doing?
How close are we?
You're probably about 70 or so feet. You're like just at the edge of the road, and the alleyway kind of leads in from there.
That's a little rough. I say we're in, and I'm running straight into it.
Okay.
And the people they're dealing with, go ahead.
No.
The people that they are dealing with, there are no tattoos on the elbows. This is
make a perception check.
Oh, good call.
not great. 14.
14. Not that you can see at this distance, but it's also, they're kind of in the shadow of the alley anyway. You probably have to get a bit closer.
Okay.
However, as you're looking in, you see Ashton charges in, and as you go rushing in, they kind of look over their shoulder and notice the approaching troop that is you, which means whether or not you're ready, the rest of you are being pulled into this, and we'll jump into combat here right after a break. So I'll be back here in a few minutes. Welcome, Erica! Welcome. We'll get to jump into whatever this chaos entails here in just a few minutes. So hang tight. We'll see you in a few.
The tale of Aurora and the Five Realms is ancient. It began long ago when the dragons arrived from another world. But a great evil had followed them. Together, we stood against it, the dragons at our side. Yet evil does not release its grip so easily. And in our most desperate hour, a powerful being was set forth to turn the tide. Alas, our victory came at great cost. The world of Aurora broke into 5 realms, each its own plane. They became harsh places to survive, each realm with its own unique challenges. Exploring these hellscapes was pivotal to survival, though rarely an easy task. Then the dragons turned on Aurora, and our survival became harder still. The dragons changed and became savage. But we learned to adapt and overcome these challenges. The time is nigh. You are our final hope for survival. But first, you must survive. Aurora.
D&D is for everyone, and D&D Beyond makes it super easy to play. And I am about to start a new campaign, so today I am going to create a new character. You know what I love to be? I love to be a gnome. All right, I'm thinking about what class I want to be for this campaign, and I know that some of the rest of my party are going to do magic users. So I think it would be fun to play someone very practical and down to earth. I think we're going to go barbarian. I would like her to go ahead and have some athletics. And survival. I like to choose the standard array for the ability scores when I'm determining what I'm good at and what I'm bad at. Let's put our highest score in strength, and then our constitution. And I feel like I have a nicely balanced set of skills now. All right, now for background. There is a sailor background. You sailed on a seagoing vessel for years. This maybe gave me some intimidation. Add that starting equipment. So I think the right name for my gnome is gonna be Rip Scrumble. And then what does she look like? I think that's gonna be a good fit for us, but that is not the only thing I get to set. Let's give Rip Scrumble the spirit board frame. This beautiful one. And for theme, I mean, let's stick to what we're doing here. Let's go Living Blood. Rip Scrumble is good to go. Anyone can register and start creating characters right now. You can subscribe to get unlimited characters. You can unlock more options by picking up various books, but the free basic rules will always be there for you, so I hope you will join us. D&D is for everyone, and D&D Beyond makes it super easy to play.
What mighty hands now turn the age's wheel, as godly grace gives way to mortal foe. Our champions have fallen prey to comfort, as dire children chase the matron's wake.
Cities soaring, framed by ebbing stars, shake against the echoes of an old hunger and festering wounds from schisms long since past. Surely they knew a distant future reckons. Surely they heard the howl of the calamity. How could they?
The wheel must always spin, its gilded fulcrum rotting from within.
Hey critters, Laura Bailey here. Let's see what's up in the Critical Role shop.
Style should never be a dumpster, darling.
You need this?
You probably need this.
Look at this. Isn't it fashion? So much fashion happening here.
Go ahead, darling. Treat yourself.
Could anything be more perfect? And hey, if you want, you could head over to the Critical Role shop right now.
Hi. Old times. Well, I'm going to call this part one. I'll come back shortly with part two. Well, this is Green and Rio Mentra, and I wish you good fortune on the quest of life.